Hello Ghost Hunters, Tommy Terror here from the Edinburgh Ghost Bus Tour, and today I have a haunted theatre. I'm standing outside the Festival Theatre in Edinburgh. There it is. It used to be called the Empire Palace Theatre, and it's haunted by the ghost of a German magician called the Great Lafayette. His real name was Sigmund Neuberger, and in 1911 he was the highest paid entertainer in the world, and he was on tour with his magic show. Now, the love of his life was his dog, Beauty, which had been a gift to him from Harry Houdini. And Beauty led a life of luxury. She was pampered, given the best food going, diamond collar. But when the tour arrived here in Edinburgh, Beauty sadly died. So a heartbroken Great Lafayette arranged to have her buried at Pierce Hill Cemetery. Now, it wasn't customary to have a dog buried in a graveyard meant for humans, so the only way he could make it happen was to persuade the authorities by promising to be buried there himself when his time came. And little did he know how quickly that promise would be fulfilled. So with the beloved dog buried, the magic show went ahead here at the then Empire Palace Theatre. And the climax of the show was an elaborate trick called the Lion's Bride, which involved a real-life lion on the stage. But something went tragically wrong that night. A Chinese lantern toppled over on the stage and engulfed the entire stage in fire. So they dropped the iron safety curtain down to stop the fire spreading into the auditorium. But because the show involved the use of real live animals on the stage, the Great Lafayette has insisted that all the doors backstage be locked during the performance to stop the animals escaping. But this meant that the performers were now trapped on stage with the fire, and 10 people died on stage that night, including the Great Lafayette and his animals. His burnt out body was found in the charred remains of the stage the following day, and then 2 days later his body was found again, this time under the stage. So how come there were 2 identical dead magicians found? Well, the first body they found had been a body double, somebody dressed up as the magician as part of the magic trick. And the second body, the one found under the stage, was the real Great Lafayette, and they identified him by the sparkly diamond rings on his fingers. So he was cremated, and thousands of people lined the streets of Edinburgh to witness his ashes being transported to Pierce Hill Cemetery, where they were placed between the paws of his beloved Beauty in the grave. And that's where he rests to this day. Or does he? Because in 1994, the theatre was refurbished, renamed and reopened as the Festival Theatre. And ever since then, there's been sightings of the magician's ghost. A night cleaner got a terrible shock in 1994 when they saw a tall, shadowy figure lurking backstage. In 1995, a stagehand saw the magician's ghost in the auditorium, and he described it as a tall, dark, shadowy figure that appeared and vanished in a split second. And the magician's ghost has also been blamed for flickering lights and cold spots around the building. But if the Great Lafayette is still haunting this place, he's certainly not alone, because the auditorium is said to be haunted by a ghostly little girl in a yellow dress who plays with people's hair. And the fly floor of the stage area is haunted by a sailor with a wooden leg, and you hear his leg scraping along the walkways up there. There's also a seat in the auditorium that's said to be haunted by a well-dressed old man wearing a hat. He's perhaps a previous owner of the building, and a female stagehand even had a conversation with that ghost before a show one night, and he told her that if he didn't like the performance, he was going to make his feelings known. So it's currently showing Ghost Stories, one of my favourite plays. I'm going to go in and see it, but it's touring theatres all around the UK, Ghost Stories, but it might have met its match with the Festival Theatre, because with all the paranormal activity here, there could well be more ghosts in the auditorium tonight than on the stage. I'm going to find out. Thank you for listening.